We provide positive and supportive learning environment in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to call upon someone who's going to take this meeting forward. He is a veteran Toastmaster. He's always thinking about Toastmasters, maybe in his dreams too. So let's hear from him, our presiding officer and the president of Toastmasters, Bombay Toastmasters Club, Mr. Babu Narayan. Over to you, Toastmaster Babu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajkaran, for those, I would say, words which are not far from the truth. In fact, these days there's so much of Toastmasters that is happening in my life that I always find every night some Toastmaster or the other haunting me, even in my dreams. So I do hope that these pleasant dreams continue for a while now and let them be as enjoyable as they are at the moment. I just came off watching cricket on Star Sports. In fact, probably Manish also would have just gotten off the couch uh, and reveled in the pasting that the Indian team has given to the English cricket team. Probably what, the third in a row. Yes, and I was listening to what our veteran cricketer Sunil Gavaskar had to say. In fact, who has completed incidentally 50 years of his baptism into Test cricket. And he said that this has been an amazing team. The last few tests and this particular cricket team that India has produced is an amazing one. In every match, he says we've had someone or the other standing up, putting his hands up to take the onus or the responsibility for leading the team from the front. Whether it was Rohit Sharma as the opening batsman, whether it was Rishabh Pant or the brand new Washington Sundar. The point that I'm making is in every organization, in every situation, at every forum, you do find someone or the other putting his or her hands up when the chips are down. And I would say that this is also true of our very own Toastmasters organization. Today, we have a Toastmaster who is an embodiment of this virtue. Whenever we have asked her to play a role, to take up a contest role, to take up an evaluation role, or today, as you must have seen the agenda, to take up the role of the Toastmaster of the day, she has been there. She is a very passionate Toastmaster, and what I like particularly about her is the kind of innocent desire to excel in whatever she does. And we have seen a lot of that in the past at least 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, that she's been with us. So, fellow Toastmasters, let us all put our hands together for the Toastmaster of the day, the very endearing Toastmaster Avantika.
Good evening, fellow
Over to you.
Toastmasters and guests. I want to thank our club president, Toastmaster Babu, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, sir. We have a very exciting meeting planned for all of you today. We have prepared speeches on the agenda, but before introducing our speakers, I will explain you today's program and will walk you through the entire agenda, which consists of the three major parts. During the first segment, we will hear speeches that have been prepared according to the guidelines found either in the basic communication and leadership manual or the advanced Toastmaster manual. Time frames for the speeches range from 5 to 7 minutes or may go up to 10 minutes depending on the speaker's project and the manual being used. The second segment of the program, called Table Topics, gives all of us an opportunity to do some impromptu speaking. The Table Topics Master will give us an interesting topic that we will talk about from 1 to 2 minutes. By the way, I will encourage all our guests to participate in that segment. In part 3 of the meeting, each prepared speech will be evaluated by a fellow Toastmaster. The general evaluator for today's program will give you more specific information about this later on. Also, during this portion, our grammarian will make note of any grammatical errors for us to improve upon. The timer will let us know if the prepared speeches, the impromptu talks, and the evaluations met the required time frames. Any questions from our guests? All right then, we move ahead with our meeting. They say, behind every successful man, there is a woman. I say, beside every successful man, there is a woman. They say, a woman must know her place. I say, and want you also to say, a woman should choose her own place. They say, never send a woman to do a man's job. Let us all say, she might even do it better. As she spreads her wings to change the world, let us help her take the flight in her own little way, steering the winds of change forward, unveiling a new era of progress. Now let us all celebrate a new symbol of an equal world. Welcome to all of you today to another session of BTM meeting. Each for Equal. Each for Equal underscores the role each of us play on a daily basis to challenge those stereotypes, fight biases, and collectively create a world with more dignity and broader opportunities for all. Increasingly, the world is awakening to the fact that diversity in all forms is a competitive advantage, a huge advantage. Diversity brings individual dignity and collective dollars to those who make inclusion and equality a corporate priority. Thus, there is a need to move towards the equality while assimilating the differences. Now, I shall introduce you to the role players of today's meeting. Our today's first role player is the grammarian, Toastmaster Nivedita, the VP Education of this club. She has been my helping hand since ever I joined the club and is always a friendly person to meet and greet to. Let me call upon Toastmaster Nivedita.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Avantika, for your lovely introduction. And good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to listen to everything said during the meeting and to note and report any particular effective use of the grammar or any grammatical incorrect speech. So as a grammarian, it also tasked to present the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is parity, which means the state or a condition of being equal. For example, part-time workers are demanding parity with their full-time colleagues, or the two currencies have now reached parity. So in order to qualify for the vote for the best table topic speaker, each table topic speaker as well as prepared speakers also requesting them to use the word of the day during their speeches. So I'll give the word of the day as well as the grammarian report when called for. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita, for all your guidelines as a grammarian for the day. As we have now met the grammarian for the meeting, let me introduce you to the next role player. The next role player is a software craftsman by profession and helps solve the real world problems with the technology. He says when he is not staring at his monitor, he stays busy with his kids. The timer for today's meeting, who is going to be helping us to keep a tab of the time spent during the entire meeting, I would like you all to join me in welcoming Toastmaster Rajkaran. Toastmaster Rajkaran.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Avantika. My duty as a timer is to time prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations. For example, so when the speaker reaches the minimum time allotted, I'll display the green card. Just a second, I'll share my screen. So I'll display the green card. When the speaker reaches the in between mid range, I'll display the yellow card. And when the speaker reaches the maximum allotted time, I'll display the red card. So as so there is 30 seconds grace period in case of a prepared speeches. Suppose speaker is giving his icebreaker, so the time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. So I'll display green card at 4 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll display the yellow card, and at 6 minutes, I'll display the red card. So there is 30 seconds grace period before the minimum time allotted and after the maximum time allotted. And I'll share my timing report when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Avantika.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rajkaran, for all the timing guidelines. Our next role player is someone who is a solution architect working in a cyber security domain. A Toastmaster who is passionate about gymming and cycling. Please welcome the R-counter of today's meeting, who will be helping us in recording the correct words and the sound all throughout the meeting time. Let me welcome Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. Sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and guests. The purpose of the R counter is to listen all speakers and note the number of below speaking errors for each participant. Words or sound used as scratch as is are, arms, filler words such as well, long pauses used as fillers and not as a necessary part of sentences structure, connective words such as and, so. Word may be inappropriate interjection, example and, but, or actually. Sounds may be or. As a counter, I'll also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase, example, I, or this means. I will give a report when called upon at the end of the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anurag, for that brief guidelines about your role. We humans are born with potential. Our work does the talking, but we all still love to talk. We prove the efficiency quotient, making us equally potent. We are trusted with the work assigned to us, letting others proudly bank on us. There's always more to our story. That's why efficiency builds our glory. This International Women's Day, let us not just wish, instead act and break that glass ceiling with facts. Let us all drive the change with collective individualism to build a world with equal potential. Let's all be each for equal, not just today and tomorrow, but every day of our lives. With this thought strongly held in our minds, let us get on to the first session of today's meeting, that is the prepared speeches. Let me call Toastmaster Babu to let us know the objective of our first speaker. Toastmaster Babu.
Babu, you're on mute.
Once again, good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, guests, including Madam Viju, whom I forgot to introduce at the beginning. Madam Viju, welcome to the session, and all our other valued guests. And of course, in particular, our speaker, Toastmaster Anand. Toastmaster Anand, today it looks like it's a day of back to basics for you. He will be delivering his icebreaker speech today. And for those who may not be aware, this is the first speech in the journey, whether it's a traditional or the Pathways Manual, of introducing the speaker to the audience and for the speaker to get to understand some of the basic elements of speaking before an audience. This will be a 4 to 6 minute speech, and I am sure our seasoned stalwart Anand is more than up to the task for this icebreaker. All the best to you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babu. When I asked this speaker about his first thought of an equal world, he said to me, equal worlds to me means people accept one another in thoughts and hearts without being influenced by one's caste, creed, religion, region, values, preferences, etc. Please welcome our first speaker for today's meeting, who is a business consultant by profession and a teacher by passion. Toastmaster Anand, who is attempting his icebreaker speech from the pathway of effective coaching. Toastmaster Anand, is it possible to have a problem-free life? Is it possible to have a problem-free life? Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everybody. Friends, let me begin by asking a question. How many of you would like to have a life free from problems? Can I have a show of hands? You can just press the reaction button. You can put it in the chat box. Yes, thank you very much for your honest answer. Now, before I answer to this question, please allow me to walk you through journey of my life. My name is Anand Kumar, and I was born in 1975, which is several decades ago, looks like centuries ago, in a small town named Ara in the state of Bihar. My father is a businessman and my mom a homemaker. I have two brothers and one sister, very well settled in their lives. By qualification, I'm a chemical engineer and MBA in HR. In terms of profession, I am a business consultant working with L&T Infotech, and by passion, I am a teacher. And that's precisely the reason why I joined Toastmaster, to hone my speaking skills so that I can become an effective teacher. When I was growing up in my early childhood, my life was surrounded with a lot of problems. Problems because of financial constraints, problems because of relationships, conflicts, all those things I could see in my life. I have seen relationships falling apart, people using abusive languages because of something or other. And it seemed like life is a struggle. It's not so easy to live a good life. My father always wanted me to become an engineer. So I really studied hard, trying to score 90% in my board exam. I gave my 100% to the studies. But when the exam results came out, I could get just little above 70%, which gave me a feeling that despite working so hard, I could barely manage to get 70%. My self-image was tarnished. I felt like I'm not good enough. Still, I'm a fighter. I worked harder and tried to put my name in the list of top rankers in 12th standard. In 12th standard, when the results came out, I could get little below 70%. To my surprise, my idea that I'm not good enough got reinforced. However, I wanted to fulfill dream of my father of becoming an engineer. So I worked hard on preparation of that. In the first attempt, I failed. I lost 1 year of my life, and that was a big problem. In second attempt, I passed. Went to the college. In college, NIT Trichy in Tamil Nadu, I tried my hands on several things, be it sports, studies, debates, speeches, so on and so forth. Tried to excel everywhere, but guess what? I remained mediocre. In the last year of the college, when the placement started happening, many of my friends bagged jobs with 5-figure salaries, and I got just 4-figure salary. It seemed like, man, life is a struggle. No matter what you try, what you do, you are not going beyond that level of being called or categorized as an average. When I joined the company Atul Limited in Gujarat, though my qualification was a chemical engineer, they put me in the as a maintenance engineer, as a mechanical as a which was a post for the mechanical engineer. Knowing nothing about the mechanical part, I had to really struggle hard dealing with the workers. And although problems were so much, guess what? God has a sense of humor. I got married, and I think everybody must marry in their life. After all, happiness is not the only thing. After marriage, got kids, managing relationship with laws, financial constraints, so on and so forth. And now when I look at my children, they are not coming at home at night. Late, they're coming late. That's a problem. They're looking at their mobiles. That's a problem. Their studies, a problem. Everywhere seems to be a problem. And problem to me is like omnipresent. In pursuit of finding solutions to all these problems, I developed a hobby of reading books. And one fine day, I stumbled upon a beautiful quote by Norman Vincent Peale, which says, "Problems are sign of life. Only people who don't have problems are found in the cemetery." So, friends, as long as we are living, as long as we are breathing, problems are going to be there. If we accept these ideas, and rather than looking at problems as problems, we work on our own capabilities so that we keep growing and problems become smaller, then we feel in control. And this is what I invite everybody to do. Never ever think that your life is going to be free from problems. Something or other will keep coming. My invitation to you is accept problem as a teacher. Rather than looking at problem as problem, think of as an opportunity. Work on your capability, and that will give you a sense of pride. With this, I wish you all accept this idea and focus on your capability building, and that will make your life much better in terms of compared to what we are doing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand. Just this morning, I attended a TEDx webinar on Women Are Changing the World series, and I heard this quote of Sir Michael Jr., which said, "When you know your why, your what becomes more clear and impactful." I think that's the same message that you just gave us. Like, aim at where you want to be, and you will be. So, thank you very much once again, Toastmaster Anand. Giving all of you 30 seconds to provide your feedback to Toastmaster Anand in the private chat box.
Toastmaster Avantika, he has completed his first speech, so we can give him a standing ovation. So you just
Sure.
request. Yeah.
Sure. I would request all our members present today to please give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Anand as he completes his first icebreaker speech of his new pathway journey. Congratulations to you, Toastmaster Anand. Thank you for that reminder, Toastmaster Nivedita. All right. So now that we are done with the 30-second time, let me come back and get you on my theme of the day. An equal world is an enabled world, and the onus lies on each one of us to create it, nurture it, and sustain it. Let us not just get this into our mindset, but also bring it into reality every day. That is, to provide equal opportunities to all and to ensure an equal environment to learn and grow. As a small step, let us all learn to celebrate these differences. Come on, now let us move to the next speech for the day. And may I now call upon Toastmaster Chetan to read out the objective, please.
Hello. The Toastmaster Kusmanjali is attempting a level 1 project 3. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn and review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. Thus, timer, please note the speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan. Our next speaker is a chartered accountant with a desire to explore technology world. In search of her passion, her thoughts about an equal world is a world where each one would understand and accept the inequalities and, let's say, imperfections in oneself and others. Instead of chasing equality mindlessly due to illogical comparisons, she wants the world to live the life the way we want. Let people live, let others live at their will without being judgmental about anybody. She is going to be presenting her third project from level 1 of Persuasive Influence Pathway. Please join me in welcoming Toastmaster Kusumanjali. Toastmaster Kusumanjali, the illusion of freedom. The illusion of freedom, Toastmaster Kusumanjali.
Come home on time, not later than 1 a.m. It's not safe out. This is what I used to hear when I was in my teenage. I always wondered how great it would have been that if I could have been born as a male. I always thought that being a male has so many freedoms. Like you can go wherever you want, whenever you want, without any restrictions. Good evening, Toastmasters and fellow friends. I started talking about this topic of the freedom which we enjoy with my parents, my friends, and my sibling. And I realized that this freedom is caged by the chains of patriarchy. I would like to take you guys through the minefield of masculinity. So we'll explore this minefield in 3 stages. First, from the childhood. Second, adolescence till young adulthood. And third, from middle adulthood to parenthood. Don't cry like a girl. Fight up. Go fight for your rights. Just be a man. This is what we say to a male child. When he's so small, he doesn't know what is masculinity. But he's being coded into the stereotypes. Have you ever seen a pink-colored gun or a kid driving a pink-colored car? We even don't leave colors also. But we differentiate them based on genders. And to make you realize how much this unconscious bias plays a role in coding. There's a study conducted by the University of Guelph on 600 parents from US and Canada. And what this study revealed was that it was more acceptable to the parents for women or girls in general to be more emotionally expressive than boys, no matter what the emotion is. We quote them that you need not express your emotions. Now, moving on to
Can you hear her? I can't hear you. Okay. Sorry, it's my connectivity.
Okay, moving on from childhood to young adulthood, now comes the illusion of freedom. The illusion of freedom, wherein they are said, go out, explore world, but mind well, perform well. You have to be the breadwinner. You have to impress females. You have to keep the reputation of our family high. This is the cost of freedom. They are so constantly pressured of being the breadwinner for the family that they're not even exploring what are their dreams, what they can even become apart from just earning a livelihood. And to make you realize how much pressure these males go through, there's a statistic which was quoted by Dr. Farrell in The Boy Crisis, that as boys become young men, their suicide rate as compared with young women goes from equal to 6 times higher. And this pressure of earning the livelihood haunts them from young adulthood till middle adulthood. And it's so deeply rooted in them that during the time of Great Depression, when men lost their job, they felt as if they lost their identity. And as a society, it's a choice with females that we can leave our job at any point of time to pursue a more fulfilling career by taking any pay cut which we want. But this is not an option so easily available to me. They have to literally work hard to fulfill the needs of the family at the cost of their dreams. And here comes the problem of the emotions. They are so much repressed. Since childhood, they can't express it, and now it has been suppressed like anything. And as per the study conducted by the National Crime Reports of 2015, 68% of suicides were done by men, and more married men committed suicide than women. Did you ever imagine that marriage was so threatening for males also? And let me take you what were the reasons for the suicide. Dr. Nilottam Kumar, who conducted the study, says masculinity as a culture has strong ethos. It is because there's a culture of ridiculing men who failed or were unable to perform. And Dr. Vikram Patel, professor at Harvard Medical School, says masculinity plays a role in male suicide in multiple ways. For example, as a barrier to acknowledgement of mental health problems and seeking help, as well as unique stressors related to being the breadwinner, a key risk for suicide. Can we ever think that breadwinning can be so big a reason for suicide? However, I would like to quote one thing, that some sticks makes no noise. Does it mean that it hurts less? No. Similarly, there's another thing which is so prevalent and which is not much talked about, which is emotional violence. We all know about domestic violence and how much females have gone through it. But according to a study conducted by ICMR, across 1,000 participants from India, 51.6% men experienced emotional violence, followed by physical violence of 6%. This whole journey from childhood till parenthood, wherein first not to express emotions, then the suppressed emotions, then to take care of everyone's emotion at the cost of your emotions. It is so much problematic that the suicide rate, that 1 in 10 men commits suicide, and the average lifespan of males is almost 7 years less than a female worldwide. This is the cost of masculinity. Now you all would be wondering why I chose females to compare with males in the statistics. I'm not at all a person who's against feminism nor in support of patriarchy. However, there's one point which I want to make. Currently, feminism has become a fashion. Let us all accept that males do have a problem, and let's treat everyone at parity without gender bias. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kusumanjali. I may request for 30 seconds to all the present attendees to give a feedback on the private chat box to Toastmaster Kusumanjali. All right. So moving on now to the next speech, may I now call upon Toastmaster Ankit to read out the objectives, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avantika. Our next speaker for the day is attempting her Level 2 Project 1 from the Strategic Relationships Manual. The purpose of the project is to identify her primary leadership style or styles, and the purpose of this speech is to share some aspects of her primary leadership style or discussing leadership styles in general. Timer, please note she has 5 to 7 minutes. Thanks, and over to you, Toastmaster Avantika.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ankit. And this next speaker for today is an HR professional who holds a firm belief on the thought, do good and you will get good in return. And she is the one who describes the equal world as one that is not only about gender or financial equality, but about equality for every living being on the earth to live. Please put together a round of applause to welcome our next speaker, Toastmaster Hemangi, who is presenting her Level 2 speech project of strategic relationship. Toastmaster Hemangi, leadership, a responsibility and power. Leadership, a responsibility and power. Toastmaster Hemangi.
Did you get a chance to look at the presentation? I have edited through graphics considering parts being experienced. Employee politely asked, graphics, I asked you. Use one I have forwarded. Why you guys don't listen to me? I know what is required, so please go and change it. The boss literally yelled at the employee. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I believe you all must have seen similar behavior around you in your career. You must have thought what kind of leader he or she is, and who will like to work with this kind of boss, correct? But why we are talking about only career? or a boss. Leadership is required everywhere: your personal, professional, family, and of course, your community life. I would like to share my screen to show you some pictures. So, did you see all the pictures? What is common among them? Yes, they all are leaders in their respective fields. Now, I don't want to debate whether they are good or bad leaders, but they led different groups of people to achieve either their own or a common community goals. Some used their position and power to lead, but at the end, they destroyed. But some led with responsibility and create a new world. Each one of them had a different style and approach of leadership, which has given different result altogether. Some of them are built leaders whose vision and goals inspired others, and they follow them without creating any position. But some of them use their position and power to force people to follow without any freedom. Though there are many styles of leadership, but today we will talk about few which I have personally seen, observed, and applied as well. So let's start with the same example I talked about at the start, where leader believe that he or she knows all, and inputs or suggestions are not required from the teammate. These autocratic leaders has command and control approach, or in other words, do as I say approach. Here, their team or the people feel really demotivated or left out. But in certain cases, where immediate action is required, this leadership style may be very effective. Now, some examples. In the same example, the leader could have asked his or her teammate about the opinion or the suggestions before finalizing the presentation. These are the democratic leaders who involve their people in decision making, which result in building trust and respect for each other. People feel empowered and it helps them to improve creativity and confidence. Some leaders give full freedom to their people to take decisions, though they are available for consultation or feedback, but decision will be taken by the team only. They are less versatile. Sometimes it is effective if you have skilled and experienced people in a team, but mostly it results in a confusion or delay in decision. Few leaders, like a sport coach, focus on identifying and nurturing individual strength among team. These leaders focus on strategies and enable their people to work better in a group. Now, this style helps members to identify self-skill and develop that skill for their future growth. It motivates people to take challenge and realize self-potential. The next one, which is my favorite one, is strategic leadership. These leaders are visionary. They determine the future course of action and direction and motivate members to make efforts in that direction. They lead with inquiry as well as with advocacy. They lead with engagement as well as command. They maintain parity among the team and respect for each other. Though one can choose any style as per their personality, but I personally believe that leaders are the one who works towards achieving goal, while empowering team members and help them to grow and contribute towards common goal. I completely agree with Sam J. Irwin that the wants power, not for himself, but in order to be self-service. When I first did my leadership assessment, I was surprised to know that I was autocratic leader. But slowly, when I started working with the team, my style changed as per the situation and the demand. I believe I cannot follow one leadership style in all the situation. I must understand what is the goal for myself, my team, and what are the timeline that is given and apply the best fit for the situation. For me, the leadership is not just a position or the power, but it is a responsibility where you can take a group of people together to achieve certain goal. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hemangi. I may request everyone to take 30 seconds of time to provide Toastmaster Hemangi with your feedback through the private chat box. All right. So with this, we come to an end of the first section of today's meeting. But before we move ahead, may I be permitted to have a very small, quick game like a quiz with all the attendees present? All right. So I may want all the attendees today to respond to the questions as you see fit. So let's go ahead and start. I am going to read out a series of professions. All that you need to do is, in a piece of paper or might possibly on the chat box, very quickly just touch marking whether you visualize a male or a woman, and it has to be instantaneous. The moment I say, you have to immediately visualize whom do you visualize. Do you see a male in that capacity or a woman? Don't think about it. Don't try to be politically correct. As in when it comes to your brain, just type it. Are we all ready? Ready? Okay then. It's just an exchange of thoughts very quickly. Remember, you have to write whether you visualize a male or a women personnel in the profession. For any ease, you may title the two columns as male and female and add your inputs. I hope everyone is ready. Okay. So there we go. Teacher. First profession, teacher. Nurse. Nurse. Doctor. Doctor. Engineer. Engineer. A sports icon. A sports icon. A model. A model. An astronaut. An astronaut. A chartered accountant. A chartered accountant. Vegetable seller. Vegetable seller. Physiotherapist. Physiotherapist. A tailor. A tailor. A chef. The next, chef. Lawyer. Lawyer. I see the responses coming. Keep going. A dietitian. A dietitian. A singer. A singer. An actor. An actor. A writer. A writer. A refugee. A refugee. I see people voting male for a refugee. Great going. A politician. A politician. Last, a pilot. A pilot. All right, 99 plus responses. Thank you everyone for participating. If you would have written it or just upon your memory, can you give me the number you think you attached to the female category? In the chat box, just write down the number of professions you attached to the female category of the professions that we just talked about. 15 on 20, 20 on 20, 8 on 20, 5 to 6 on 20, almost all. 2 on 20, amazing. 16 female, great. Both at parity of Toastmaster Parag. Amazing. Each for equal taken too seriously. Okay, thank you once again everyone for that. Exactly, being politically correct. So yeah, major chunk of the impression while I talked for nurse, doctor and model, undisputedly said a women. We have seen so many politicians in different states who are women, but still when I called for a politician, many of them responded as male. However, this was not a judgmental quiz, a very non-judgmental one, but it does indicate what the different generations think. This was from one of the workshop I had been part of, and there was this one person from the finance department of a particular company who associated chartered accountant as male, who herself was a professionally qualified chartered accountant. This is what we call a perception of self versus own self-perception. Even if they are rebelling, even if they are supporting, even if they are renegotiating, we are kind of assimilating the social perception. And this becomes our expectation. Never mind, my own responses when I played this game were, for the first time, was strikingly surprising to myself of the biases I had created in my mind for a thing as simple as this. May I now request the timer to read out the timing report of the prepared speeches. Thank you everyone once again.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So for the timers report, Toastmaster Anand took 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Kusumanjali took 8 minutes and 13 seconds. Hemangi took 7 minutes and 17 seconds. So, except Kusumanjali, both are qualified. Anand and Hemangi is qualified. So, over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Anand.
No, just Rajkaran, as a timer, you have to announce, so there will not be any voting for question.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
as there are only 2 speakers eligible for the vote, there will not be any voting for the best speaker for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajkaran, for that timing report. Moving on to the most important part of the meeting, I would now like to call upon someone who believes that a human should have as many hobbies as possible. And in that spirit, he is someone who likes to travel, to go for treks, like public speaking, and collects various coins. Please join me in welcoming our table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Vasudeva.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Avantika. Indeed, you have selected a very appropriate and a relevant theme for the day. Uh, it is important to remember equality, and yes, even in your little game, I have to admit, in many places, I also succumb to pre-existing biases that I have. But that said, now moving on to the second part of our meeting. So far, what we saw were, if I have to draw a parity, was like a test match. It's structured and planned. But now we will move on to what I like to think is the Russian roulette part of the Toastmasters meeting, which is table topics. Table topics helps us to think and speak and also evaluate on our feet, which is very important, as on a day-to-day occasion we always find ourselves in such situation. So and on that note, I would like to now invite the timer of the day to please walk us through the timing guidelines for table topics.
Thank you, Table Topic Master Vasudev. So for the table topics, the minimum time allotted is 1 minute. The speaker has to speak for 1 minute, and the maximum time allotted is 2 minutes. So when one minute is over, I'll display the green card. It will be in the in my background. So speakers have to pin the timer. So when after 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card, and after the maximum time allotted, which is 2 minutes, I'll display the red card. And there is 30 minutes grace time after this red card, but there is no grace period.
30 seconds, 30
Oh,
seconds, 30 seconds.
yes, 30 seconds grace period after the red card is displayed, and there is no grace period before 1 minute. So the speaker has to talk or speak for at least 1 minute. Over to you, table topic master Vasudev.
Thank you, timer Rajkaran, for the guidelines. Everyone, I hope you have made note of that. And now, to begin today's table topic session. We have a very special member today present, our founding member, Toastmaster Viju. So, can I please invite you to take up the first topic? Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now very clearly.
Yeah.
So the topic for you, Toastmaster Viju, is, what if the creator is a woman? What if the creator is a woman? Toastmaster Viju.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening to all of you. What is the creator, or who is the creator? According to me, a woman or a man. I solely believe creator is your own self. You're born out of another human being, someone who has created you, and you have to design your life. So if you are a male, you might be a male god. If you are a female, you may be a female god. To believe that there is some supernatural power that defines your life is a consolation for self. There is no parity in that respect, because you decide your life. Should I live it with the optimum, or should I take what comes to me as such? I don't presume it was expected. That's not the way it is. You're the deciding factor. You are the creator of your life. So in my life, I am the creator. So for me, the creator is a female. And I have to challenge that, because I know that I am supposed to reach certain goals that I have designed in my life. It is up to me as the creator to reach that goal because I have to believe in my strength, because I am the creator of my world and my life. So it shouldn't be difficult for me to walk through that path which I have designed, because I am the architect, and the architect is the best. The contractor is the surroundings, and the finished product is my goal. And as an architect, I design it and I fulfill it. So for me, female is the creator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Viju, for such a lovely take on the topic. Definitely, it gives a very new perspective to the whole idea and word. Uh, Certainly, very enlightening. And on that note, can I call Toastmaster Parag?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening. Toastmaster Parag, your topic is it's definitely professional to have a beard. It's definitely professional to have a beard, Toastmaster Parag.
I think, did you think about the topic after seeing me? Anyway, this is not a very appropriate topic for Women's Day because only men can have beards. But I realized having a beard after the age of 45 because people were getting surprised, or rather, used to wonder, you are an artist? Then I thought I need to do something about it. So what I did is I grew a full beard, and then I tried cutting off different various sections of my beard to create an art form on my face. But then I failed miserably. Every time I used to experiment, I used to fail. When finally I gave up, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I saw there a lot of whites in my beard at that time. So I thought, let me just shave the white and keep the blacks. So that's it. That's how this shape turned out to be. Anyway, I would advise all the people uh, above 45 to grow a beard as a statement, a fashion statement, or some kind of statement you're making. Because this has given me a lot of attention till now. Before this, I wasn't noticed. Now people have started noticing me. I'm making some kind of a statement, I don't know what, but at least they ask me, how do you do that? So I say I do it myself, which they don't believe, of course. They feel I have a special barber or a special stylist who I go to and I do, but believe me, practice helps. I remember a Toastmaster giving a speech on beards. So thanks to him, I think he might have inspired many people to sport one. And I hope I have inspired many to sport one too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Parag. And if it's any consolation, even I am someone who sports a beard. So yeah, cheers to that. I agree it's not a very women-centric topic, but then I try to keep it in the theme of the day of equality, uh, because you can't really get into too many topics without getting political. So it's more in the theme of equality. And on that note, can I now invite our senior member Toastmaster Pratibha to take up table topic?
Yeah, sure.
So, Toastmaster Pratibha, your topic is what if men moved out of their home after marriage? What if men moved out of their home after marriage? Toastmaster Pratibha.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this interesting topic. In fact, I have not seen anyone moved out of their house, even during Corona, leave apart the marriage. And after marriage, it is common that ladies are leaving their house and not the men, not the women, it is women. I hope you all are maybe agreeing with me. But yes, moving of the house is always a sign of promotion. I changed my house 2, 3 times after my marriage. And every time it was for the upper change, higher change. And this is how, after marriage, men are changing the house. I agree, it's for promotion, it's for prosperity. Not only that, it's for their potentials. And you all will agree, women are always there behind every man, whether it is moving or not moving. I remember on Women's Day, our first lady Toastmaster, who was not allowed in Toastmasters just because she was a woman. And to make the topic more women centric, I would like to quote her as she said that if you get out of Toastmasters, what you will get, you will never get anything out of Toastmasters. So stick to Toastmasters, stick to your house, never leave your house, move but upperwards. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratibha, for your participation. Indeed, women are definitely the supportive uh, person in any kind of progress in a family. So definitely do agree with you on that point. Uh, and now, can I invite a guest for table topics? Guest Aryan, are you there? Guest Priya. Okay, maybe we can circle back to her. In the meantime, can I invite our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Manish, for a topic?
Sure.
So the topic for you is India may be a motherland, but it's governed by men. India may be a motherland, but it's governed by men. Toastmaster Manish.
I don't think I would say that India is not governed by men, though I strongly believe that for one, women can't drive. So that's another story. But we had the Iron Lady, Indira Gandhi, ruling us for I don't know how many years. And she had the brilliant idea, I would say, of enforcing the emergency in those days, which is still recalled by one and all. So, I mean, India has been ruled by women in the past, and also we had a precedent in Pratibha Patil. Whatever happened is another story. But yes, so India has got its fair share of women in the ruling scenario. We have states like West Bengal that is currently being ruled by Mamata Banerjee. So I know Pratibha is smiling. Our VP Ed is a woman again. So yes, why not? India, I would not say is ruled purely by men. It is ruled by men right now who are not married or who are single. But otherwise, India has its fair share of women. Our finance minister is Nirmala Sitharaman again. So yeah, I would disagree with your statement that India is ruled by men. India is ruled by women and has been ruled in the past also by women, whatever be the problems. But I still maintain, like I have always told Pratibha, that women can't drive. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manish, for the topic. Yeah, even I'll agree that there are quite a lot of women leaders in general, just even outside the political space. We have some inspirational people like Indra Nui and as such. So it is certainly true. Uh, can I invite the guest who's by the name Oppo A9? Uh, if you can just help us with your name, and would you like to participate in table topics? Ravina. Is the name Ravina? I'm not sure.
Ignore. That statement has to be ignored.
Okay. Moving on then. Our grammarian has volunteered. So can I invite the grammarian and Toastmaster Nivedita? So your topic is Tatkal tickets inequality? Is Tatkal tickets inequality? Toastmaster Nivedita.
Okay, something. What a topic on parity. That car tickets are invalid or in. Okay. I am not agreeing, or I disagree with the fact that Tatkal you need Tatkal tickets for two reasons. Because there are people in, I think, current era is everything we decide. Then in that case, those tickets are very handy or very useful. The other aspect of the same part is there are so many parameters where we have to cancel our reservations or bookings. So in that case, there are many seats available. So doing it on 11th hour or on the time has its own, I think, gaining the importance, though it's not a really good practice, though we have to have that good planning in any case and across the, maybe it's a professional or your personal work. But these things comes in handy. These are the need of the hour. And then I feel, therefore, Tatkal is always a welcome. And I think a lot of people are getting benefited with this Tatkal ticket. Thank you for this different topic altogether. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita, for your participation. And I do suppose that it has existed for so long, so of course it must be serving some purpose. But yes, can we have Toastmaster Chetan? And if I'm like overrunning, then I would request TMOD, Toastmaster of the Day, Avantika, to just give us all a heads up.
Yeah, tell me.
So, Toastmaster Chetan,
yeah.
Your topic is, should a gentleman always pay the bill? Should a gentleman always pay the bill? Toastmaster Chetan.
Well, to table topic master and my fellow and guests, what I believe is that the paying bill is what is being highlighted here, and being is immaterial as to who pays it, to be very frank. So it's not really should the gentleman pay the bill or should the women pay the bill. It's about who has the money at that point of time in the money. So whoever has to pay the bill. And secondly, at times it can be done as the alternative way. And nowadays, even we have the concept of add-on cards. So even if I pay the bill or my wife pays the bill, eventually bill is going to come on me. So it doesn't really make a difference as to who pays the bill. So this concept of men paying the bill or female paying the bill is from the time when they are seeing each other, or they are on the courtship period, or they are going out. Then just trying to impress each other, the man pays the bill, or sometimes one pays the bill and all that thing. But I guess on the broader, I think it's some. What is more important that who has initiated the event. I think that's the one who pays the bill. At times it is men, at times it is women. At times, who is the host? And who had called upon for the event? I think that's the one who pays the bill. It's not gender specific. It's not about men or women. It's more about following the standard procedure and about courtesy and about being politically correct. So I think it's more to do with that. So I guess it's more. Let's not make a bill payment a gender specific thing. I think it's more about who wants to be right at that point of time. Over to you, tabletop master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan. It certainly seems that you are coming with a fair bit of experience, I suppose, into this. But yeah, so with this, I would like to close the table topics session of our meeting. I hope everyone had a good time and the topics were interesting to take up. And on that note, I would like to now invite the timer again to help us with the timing of all the speakers.
Thank you, table topic master Vasudev, once again. So the timing reports: Viju took 2 minutes and 10 seconds, Parag took 2 minutes 20 seconds, Pratibha took 1 minute 52 seconds, Manish 1 minute 40 seconds, Nivedita 1 minute 40 seconds, Chetan 1 minute and 45 seconds. So all the table topic speakers are qualified for the vote, and the voting links will be shared in few minutes. Thank you, and over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, timer Rajkaran, for your update. And now I would like to again invite the Toastmaster of the day, Avantika, to please take us through the meeting further. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vasudeva, for that wonderful session, and to all the participants who made an attempt to it. Very interesting list of topics indeed. As we are near to the day of celebrating the International Women's Day, let us all be reminded. A challenge is an opportunity to shine, to lead, and to uplift. And just like you, she puts in the work, the blood, the sweat, and the tears. And just like you, she wants to succeed and make something of herself. She believes it is possible for 1,000 restrictions mean nothing to her. 1,000,000 limitations don't slow her down. 1,000,000,000 barriers, she'll tear them down. The burdens of society don't make her weak. They simply fuel her strength. Her will to succeed is her superpower. Her drive to achieve, her motivation. She is strong. She is caring. She is ambitious, and she is daring. She is a dreamer, a philosopher, a strategist, and a leader. She is just like you. She is just like me. And most importantly, she is the next big thing. Call out with me if you support her too in this battle of each for equal. Let us all show a show of hands like this if we support this call. Thank you, everyone. All right, to that, we move to the last part of the session today. May I now invite Toastmaster Manish, the general evaluator of today's meeting.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Like I have said, that women can't drive, and my daughter, I have one daughter, and my designation states proud father of Kavya. So she is raring to be 18, which would be in less than 2 years from now, so that she can start driving. And she is very clear at this moment that once I start driving, you're not going to comment about women's driving. So I know this is coming, it's not very far, and I will be forced to shut up completely once she is handling the steering wheel. She will be controlling my life from then on. So I won't be able to take all those jibes that I do. So Pratibha, you and I won't fight on the road ever again after 1.5 years. But till such time, don't mess with me. So coming
Manish,
to
thanks, our thanks to Kavya. Kavya, so you will change your statement after 2 years. When
yeah,
she
less
will
than 2
drive.
years
I'm
from
sure
now. Yes, she's going to drive me up
and she
the
will
wall.
drive really.
Yeah. So yes, that is coming. And so on Women's Day, I would have expected a lot of women participation, but I do see male participation also today, which also explains the parity in our club and in the nation as a whole. So yes, good to see that. To start with, we will begin with the evaluation. I have a team of evaluators who will evaluate the prepared speeches. To explain the timing guidelines for the evaluators, may I request the timer, Toastmaster Rajkaran, to give us the guidelines, please?
Thank you, General Evaluator Manish. So for the evaluations, the speaker is allotted 2 to 3 minutes. The minimum time allotted is 2 minutes. So when the 2 minute is reached or the minimum time allotted is reached, I'll display the green card or my background will change to green. And when he or she reaches the in between 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll display the yellow card. And when the maximum allotted time, that is 3 minutes, is reached, I'll display the red card. And there is a 30 seconds grace period before and after the minimum time allotted and the maximum time allotted. So I'll give the timing reports when called upon. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajkaran. Our first speech was evaluated by Toastmaster Babu. May I request him to present his report, please?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, Speaker Toastmaster Anand in particular, kudos for breaking the ice so very effectively. I knew Toastmaster Anand was a passionate Toastmaster, and to some extent, I knew him as a trainer before the icebreakers started. But after 6 minutes of delivering of his icebreaker, I got to know that he's also a doughty fighter, a fighter who overcame several setbacks in his life, early in his childhood, in school and college. But he came through all of that very successfully and managed to retain his sensibility, sanity, and more importantly, I would say, his humility and his humor, which was evident right through the speech. Toastmaster Anand started the icebreaker with a question: how many of you would like to live a life free of problems? Which incidentally happened to be the title of his speech. In fact, well done to have such an effective title for an icebreaker speech. I think that really set the ball rolling for an icebreaker. He then presented the tapestry of his entire life, starting from his childhood in Bihar, went on to speak about his academics in college, in school and college, and then how he got into a profession which was not at all understood by his first employer. He spoke, or rather touched upon his profession as a business consultant, and ended up with a beautiful message to say that while he had several problems in his life, these have been like a stepping stone for success at various stages. While his icebreaker definitely brought different facets of his life to all of us, what I particularly liked was, of course, as I said, the humor. And I must mention at least two of them, which I would call self-deprecating humor, when he said, born in 1975, centuries ago. He talked about happiness not being the only thing, in marriage. And he also said that problems are a sign of life. Who said problems, people who have no problems will only be found in the cemetery. So, a very interesting icebreaker. But I thought that as a seasoned Toastmaster, perhaps the icebreaker did not live up to some of the heights of glory that I would like. I would have liked him to talk a little more about his hobbies, his interest, and his passion, about how he really overcame some of these setbacks and how he rose to a different level. Was there a turning point in his life? Was he guided by certain icons in his life who influenced him? How did he see his life going ahead? And how would he like to take these learnings to others? But all in all, I would say that his icebreaker fulfilled the basic aspects of every icebreaker, and we definitely got to know Toastmaster Anand much better after those 6 minutes of his presentation. Thank you very much, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babu, for that wonderful evaluation. Our second speech is being evaluated by Toastmaster Chetan. May I request Toastmaster Chetan to present his report, please?
Sure. Women are raised with the thought that they are required to handle a lot of responsibilities in the time to come. So they are raised to be careful. They are raised to be watchful. They are raised to be in terms of eye to details in whatever they do. Parity is what it was the theme my speaker chose to speak on a Women's Day. At times, we know that woman forgets her own identity and is busy taking care of everyone else around her. And at times she realizes that, am I really have the freedom? So that brings us title, then illusion of freedom that my speaker chose. And just to say that it was overall a very thought-provoking. It was very well-researched, and it was a very realistic speech, I would say, from my speaker. She had a great expression. She had a very passionate about what she was speaking. She had a great expression of what she's saying. She even used some code like freedom is caged by chains, and this spoke about male-female suicide and all that. And overall, a well-delivered speech. Technically speaking, a well-delivered speech. Having said that, I like the part that you spoke about. The topic is related to everyone. We all observe such instances in life around us. But this is if your speech would have my suggestion would be areas of improvement. I would say if this would have been a book or a movie or something more elaborate one, it would have been a great thing to hear from you, because you had so many elements to cover. But in a 5 to 7 minute speech, please remember, it's not about the quantum of the content. It's about the clarity of the content and number of points that you raise that matters. So if you're trying to cover, let's say 5-7 points in a 5 to 7 minute speech, none is going to get highlighted and people are not going to remember much out of it. So try to minimize the number of points that to cover next time around, and try to focus on each point has to have a beginning and has to have an end, so that it gets registered in people's mind and you are not just speaking for the sake of speaking. You are trying to connect with the audience. So I would say next time around when you suggest to any speech, try to be more specific, because for a moment I thought this was a very generic discussion. Although well researched, you quoted some of your sources that you took the data and material, so that needs to be appreciated. But overall, I believe it was a very generic discussion. You could have used some real life examples of people somebody you knew very closely around who have been in this position, so that would have connected with you. So just to summarize, a well prepared speech, a well practiced. You could have practiced a little more, but I think you even had a break in between somebody stopping you, but you did not stop and you still carried on. That shows that how well prepared you are. But at the end, I would say just try to make it more, little more concise or a little more specific. And each area of speech that you, a point that you raise should have a definite start and a definite end. It has to connect with the audience for them to remember for a long period of time. Thank you, and all the best to you for future speeches.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan. Our third speaker is being evaluated by Toastmaster Ankit. May I request Toastmaster Ankit to present his evaluation for the third speech?
Whom do you visualize when I say the word leader? Whenever anyone asks me this question, my brain automatically starts a slideshow with images of sporting icons, political leaders, kings and queens, and yes, business tycoons. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is where I felt Toastmaster Hemangi connected with us by showing those pics. Moreover, also narrating an incident from an office and asking if we ever had such a rude boss. And I could very well imagine my day at the office. Toastmaster Hemangi, when you started discussing the styles, it was a welcome change for me. This is the third or fourth speech of this level that I am witnessing as an audience or an evaluator. And this is probably the first time that someone has chosen this way rather than connecting our own leadership styles or own leadership instances with the assessment. I observed that you chose 4 styles, that is the autocratic, democratic, coaching, and strategic leadership, maintaining a parity of sorts while explaining the characteristic ingredients of such leaders. I presume that these were the 4 dominant leadership styles in your assessment. And also discussing the situations in brief wherein you need such leaders to accomplish the task at hand. I was initially apprehensive whether you would go ahead to connect this discussion back to the pics of those leaders that you had showed us, but you instead played safe and avoided that. And when it came to discussing your self style, that is the autocratic one, you although shared your own surprising method that I never knew that I was an autocratic leader. While it comes to the recommendation part, I would have personally loved to know why Toastmaster Hemangi doesn't fit in the other styles of leadership which were not mentioned, or whether she wants to explore the other styles of leadership moving ahead in her own professional and Toastmasters journey. All in all, if I have to conclude your speech and my evaluation, a good summary of few prevalent leadership styles, discussing your own self-style of leadership would be a cherry on the cake if to know your plans to explore other styles of leadership in future. And the key takeaway for me that it's good to apply best fit styles whenever and wherever required. That's all from me. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. May I request the timer, Toastmaster Rajkaran, to give us the timing report for the evaluators, please?
Yeah, just a second. Thank you, General Evaluator Manish. So the timing guide, the timing reports for the speech evaluations. Toastmaster Babu took 4 minutes. Toastmaster Chetan took 3 minutes and 24 seconds. Toastmaster Ankit took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Sorry, 3 minutes and 12 seconds, not 32 seconds. So only so Toastmaster Babu is not qualified for the vote, and as there are only 2 speakers qualified, so there will not be any voting for the best evaluations. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajkaran. Now on to my other team members. May I request the R counter, Toastmaster Anurag, to present his report for the meeting today. Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, General Evaluator Manish Kumar. And first of all, officially, good evening to you. I have not greeted you. He is my mentor, actually. So, and I would like to welcome or say hi to Madam Viju also, because she is the founder member of BTM and I'm the youngest member of BTM. Like last 2 months back only I have joined. So it's a privilege for me to be you in this platform and joining us. Good evening to all the fellow members. Okay, the report of our counter is Kusumanjali used crutch word thrice, 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 filler words 1, and she repeated 5 times repeat words. Then Vasudev 27 times 3 times, okay once, and so once. Then Parag 3 times, but once, so once, and you know once. And repeated words was 1. Manish, again crutch word used once, then okay twice, well once, and other phrases you know twice, and repeated words once. Nivedita, crutches words twice, filler once, and Chetan, I mean, that's a filler, crutch words once, thrice, and I guess 1. So this is the counter report. Over to you, General Evaluator Manish.
Thank you, Anurag. I guess you missed out the speakers themselves.
No, okay. So Avantika, Anand, and Himangi and Viju, these are the Pratibha, including Pratibha. These are the people who I didn't find any words, so I take their name.
Yeah. So yeah, you should mention that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. May I call upon my other team member, the grammarian Nivedita, to present her report?
Good evening, General Evaluator. The best part is the word of the day usage is by almost all. Speaker Kusumanjali, Hemangi, then Toastmaster Parag, Toastmaster Vasudev, Toastmaster Viju, Toastmaster Manish, Toastmaster Chetan, and Toastmaster Ankit. Some good usage to start with: to break the glass ceiling, in thoughts and hearts, my image tarnished, I tried my hands on, problems are sign of life, only people not finding problems are in symmetry. Equal world is ownable world. I think Toastmaster Avantika used a long passage which was full of a good usage of language, but I couldn't remember the whole paragraph. So my apologies. The next, continue with the same. Some sticks make less noise, that does not mean they hurt less. Perception of self versus self-perception. I'm the creator of my own world. Kudos for breaking the ice. Doughty fighter. Tapestry of life, and guided by icons. Some awkward or a misuse of languages. Instead of results came out, results were out. Instead of placement started happening when placement started. Instead of so many freedom, so much freedom. People were getting surprised, people were surprised. And I could notice only one pronunciation. Enable is to be pronounced as enable. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Nivedita, for that exhaustive evaluation. Now on to my report for the meeting today. The meeting started at 5:30, which is a BTM standard, so no marks for that, honestly. Sergeant at Arms, flawless as usual. He is good at his job, so we know that. The presiding officer had an interesting cricket story woven into, the introduction of the Toastmaster of the day. But I think we missed out on the guest today. And in particular, we have a founding member, so we could have brought her on. Of course, we were interacting with her before the meeting, so we missed out. I mean, we kind of continued with that mode. Toastmaster of the day, Avantika. I think this was the first time you are doing the role. Kudos to you. Seriously, you did a very good job. Okay. One thing I have to say is you probably are using an old script because we no longer have the manuals. We only have pathways. So maybe Nivedita, you need to give them the updated TMOD instructions. Okay. Other than that, it was very good. Grammarian Nivedita again. The word of the day, parity, was in keeping with the theme of the day. So that was very good. And honestly, when you have a simpler word like this, it becomes easier for for everyone to use it. No wonder your report also gave us that information that a lot of people could use it. So kudos to you for that. Timer Rajkaran, fabulous job. You are the Zoom master, so you had perfect control on the timer cards and everything, flawless. Our counter Anurag, first timer, so kudos to you for that. You did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. One request to all the evaluators. I find that evaluators are naming the speaker. Please do not disclose the name of the speaker. While the agenda does spell out the name of the speaker, I would request evaluators not to give out the name of the speaker. The name of the speaker is best declared by the Toastmaster of the day. So don't steal the thunder, please, from the Toastmaster of the day. They have probably prepared some kind of special introduction for the speaker. So, just continue as your speaker or your target speaker, and then you can let the TMOD announce the name of the speaker. That is one request to all of you. Table topic master Vasudev, you did a very good job. I don't know if this was your first time or you'd done it before. I'm sorry, I'm not very regular these days at the club meetings, but topics were very interesting and in keeping with the theme of the day. So very nice. And yeah. So all in all, we had a great meeting, and thank you to Toastmaster Viju for gracing this occasion today. We are indeed privileged to have you here. Thank you very much. And back to you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, for that very general and generous evaluation, if I may say. Very well done on that. We, yes, almost have come to the end of the meeting, but not without my few cents at the end. First up, I would like to congratulate our first-time Toastmaster of the day for not only doing such an efficient job, but for having come up with a beautiful theme, which I think is much in keeping with the times. More so recently, if we have heard about the 2 or 3 women pilots who flew over the North Pole and landed the fighter jets in Mumbai. I think we need not, really have to break our head to decide about the gender, much like the quiz where you were trying to find out whether it's a man or a woman. I think today it is the women who are shoulder to shoulder with men in all spheres of life. But for the woman who was the Toastmaster of the day today, let us put our hands together for a huge, huge round of applause. Very well done, Toastmaster Avantika.
Thank you.
And of course, to the entire team, which the General Evaluator has alluded to, for having done a great job as well. Before I go ahead, let me not miss out on the guests, at least now. And I would like to have the privilege, or we would like to have the privilege of hearing from our valued guest today, guest Viju, on how she felt Bombay Toastmasters looked like after such a long time, what kind of vibes she got, what was the ambience, and whatever else comes to mind. Over to Toastmaster Viju.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Babu. It was indeed a pleasure to be here this evening. It's like coming back home. Bombay Toastmasters was the second club in Bombay after the Mumbai Toastmasters. Of course, TCS was the corporate club. And I recall those days when we were at Mahim, at the Hospitality Management Center. That is where we had our first meeting of the Bombay Toastmasters, and I was on vacation in Bombay when I had steered this club into action. A very good meeting, very well done. Just a few observations that I would like to place so that you may improve yourself. They are not in any way averse to anything, but just to improve the quality of the meeting. We all know that we are having Zoom meetings, and one request is if you have speakers or evaluators for the meeting, I would suggest that you kind of be on the video, because it looks talking to a person not on the screen is not very enthusiastic for the person who is addressing them. So probably the speakers and the evaluators, if they could remain on the screen, that would be one of the etiquettes that we need to look into. And the other thing is that as a whole, I felt this was the best meeting that I have attended so far in Bombay, to the many Zoom meetings that I have been. Special mention of the table topics. They were really very interesting. And the way the evaluators had gone in depth to delve into the speeches was absolutely fabulous. All that you need to work is, I would like to say a small story. A sculptor was sculpting a horse, and someone said, "Come on, it's done. Let's go and deliver." And he said, "No, I just still got to chip here and there." So he asked, "What is it that you're chipping more?" And he said, "No, I'm just chipping off what is not of a horse in it." So if you just take that one liner, it has got a lot of message into it. So you know what I mean. Certain things that are not to be there, if you could just give a little more attention to that, I'm sure you will be one of the best, as you always been. Thank you for this opportunity, and I enjoyed myself. Thank you so much.
Let us give Madam Toastmaster Viju a huge, huge round of applause.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm honored, I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your words of wisdom, and coming from a founding member of Toastmaster definitely is music to the ears of all of us.
Thank you.
And we are sure that we will use these words as encouraging words for the betterment of our club in times to come. And we would also be privileged for you to be associated with Bombay Toastmasters in some capacity or the other. Of course, definitely as a member, as a Toastmaster. So doors are always open.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. We had a couple of other guests. I don't know whether I'm seeing their... Oppo is who, actually? I forgot to... Who is Oppo? Is it a guest or a member? Okay, I don't know. And Aryan? Is it again a member? Who was Aryan? Okay. Anyway, I think we are hidden from you.
Oppo is a guest.
Okay, yes. Your name?
Invite.
Hello. May we hear from you? Can you say a few words?
okay. Can you unmute yourself, please?
We are not able to hear you. It's all right if you can't rename it. Can you? I think must be a bad line. Okay, anyway, the next part, of course, we will go to the awards for the evening. Unfortunately, I think one speaker and yours truly have spoiled the party for the rest of the evaluators and the speakers. In fact, Chetan sent me a small message that probably if I had qualified, I mean, see the irony of his statement. He said if I had qualified, he would have become the winner. I like that. Anyway, yes, surely Chetan, I'll remember this.
Babu, it's to everyone, not just to you.
I know, I was just joking. Anyway, so the only award for the evening would be for the table topic speeches. And I'm not going to ask you to guess who the table topic winner this evening is. Just put your hands together and applaud for guest founder member Viju.
Thank you.
Hearty congratulations, madam.
Thank you so much.
I don't think it could have been any other way.
No, thank you so much. I just have a small request.
Yes.
Can you all share me the timing that you have on the back of your screen? How do you do that? Because I'm not a tech savvy. My apologies for that. But if you can share that with me, I would be grateful.
Sure.
Yeah.
We will do that.
I will. How do I get in touch with you?
You can just let us know. Maybe at the end of
You
the
can
meeting,
send
we'll
your
take
contact
to
details,
Nivedita.
either mail or a phone. You can post it on the chat, or I'll send my.
Yeah, I will post
Put
it
your
now
number on the
itself.
chat, and
Yeah,
we will-
I will just give you my contact number.
Yeah.
Please, I would like to use that.
Okay.
We also have best of big three.
Sorry.
Is there, did I miss it?
We have have a best of big three.
Okay.
Babu, you have the.
Okay.
I have two numbers. On any of the numbers you can.
Yeah. Okay, yes. And the second award, which is the best of the big three. And the best of the big three goes to the person who's the smallest in the big three. The Toastmaster of the day, Avantika.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank
Wonderful job.
Thank you, everyone.
You have marked your debut with a century.
Thank you.
Good, great show. Okay.
When is your next meeting?
Next Saturday.
I will hand it over to Nivedita for her to say a few words.
Yeah. Sure. Thanks, presiding officer. And we have our next meeting on next Saturday, that is 13th of March.
Okay.
So we will meet again on 5:15 on 13th March. So we right now we invite you for that meeting as well.